Hello, princesses. Welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are going to continue my Best of 2020 series, starting with today, the best in face palettes. And by that, really, I mean not only all over face palettes, but also powders, blushes, highlighters, that kind of thing. I've divided them into categories and chosen truly the best of the best across brands, things that I have reached for time and time again throughout 2020. Also products that are new and made in 2020. So I have some tried and true favorites from other years, but they won't be in this list. This is just new to 2020. Okay, let's start with blushes. Hourglass figures into this list a lot, actually, because when you talk about facial powders and palettes, Hourglass can't be forgotten. So they're going to start us off with the blush. Hourglass had a hit with their At Night lipstick, and so this year they made the At Night blush. It is absolutely beautiful, the Ambient At Night, so it's in the Ambient gold packaging. And if you just take a look at it, it looks so dark, but I'm actually wearing it right now. And as you can see on the cheeks, the way that the two mix, the way that kind of brick red mixes with the kind of calming, creamy color on the cheeks makes for a very pretty look. It is not overwhelming or too strong. This is just a beautiful blush. And really, depending upon the brush that you use and the hand that you apply it with, can be very everyday or very striking for an evening look. It's a beautiful blush and one of the best of the year, I think. The other wonderful blushes that came out this year were all from Patrick Ta. I think Patrick Ta makes a gorgeous blush. I don't know what he does with the powder, but it's so finely milled and pretty that it's almost mistake-proof the way you apply it. So he had two different blush releases this year. He had the Monochrome blush, which was just a one blush. Here's an example of just how pretty. Look at that color. That She's Sincere. And it's just kind of like a peachy, pinky, I want to say nothing, but that would be a put down. It's far from a nothing, but it's just kind of a mistake-proof, really pretty color that just can go anywhere even quickly. And if you've watched my channel a lot, you'll know that I love quick, and this is quick and easy. But even more to my liking is Patrick Ta's Double Take blushes. Those were these little guys. This is Do We Know Her? And I'm also a big fan of She's So LA because I'm from LA. So I like to think I'm so LA. And the great thing about these blushes, they have a little plastic thing here, and there's a cream blush that Patrick Ta applies first, and then he puts the powder over it, and that gives the powder a lot of staying power. You don't have to apply it in that order, but it just always gives a really pretty flush to the face. His blushes, if you're looking to try a new blush, his blushes are always really pretty, and for me, they're kind of a go-to everyday blush. Reached for them all the time in the year 2020, so I love those. And my third in the blush category goes to Wayne Goss and the Weightless Veiled Blush Palettes. What Wayne did, here's one that I'll hold up in Coral Rose. This is a really pretty one. What Wayne did was a blush color and a highlight to go along with it. And he had these beautiful large pans. There's about, I think there's 4 different ones, and they have these beautiful large pans that also have a coordinating highlighter to go with them. And the great thing about these Wayne Goss face palettes is there's a number of ways that you can use them. You could use the products separately, but I like to mix them. And Wayne Goss showed on his video, and I'll link my original video below where I also did both. You can kind of buff in the highlighter and then put the color over, or if you want more highlight to show, you can buff in the color and then brush the highlighter over. There's a number of creative ways that you can use this. The imagination really kind of makes the combinations here limitless. Plus the colors are beautiful. Wayne Goss did, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, I got it. I definitely have it. This is the Vivid Azalea. Look at this blush color. You will very rarely find a color this happy and this saturated, and yet it still goes, and as bright as that is on my finger, it still goes on the face really gently, and pretty, again, depending on the brush you use and the hand that you use. But I can be really Aunt Sally with my blush. I mean, I just can go crazy and have these really flushed cheeks. It's just me and how I apply my makeup. And it still works for me. I can just buff it in better. And I can put the highlighter over the top, and it's always a very pretty look. And I think some of the best blushes of 2020. Since that has a highlighter included with Wayne's product, let's go straight into my favorite highlighters. I don't have a cream highlighter on here, mostly because I'm just not a cream highlighter kind of girl. I have all powder highlighters, but I got a lot of really good ones, and I kind of don't know where to start here. So let's just jump right in with the Dior Backstage Glow. I have two. I have Rose Glow, and Glitz. So this is Glitz. That's kind of a more bronzy shade. Look at all that. Every single color highlight you can think of. And then the super, super, super pretty Rose Glow, which was really popular. Look at, you can go pink. These can be used as a combination blush, highlighter. I have trouble just using them as a blush. I'll do it. But to have really, really shiny cheeks isn't always flattering, especially for those of us, which is most of us, with some sort of texture. And if you think, I don't have texture on my cheeks, yeah, try putting a highlighter right on your cheek and you'll see some texture. Pretty much all of us will, no matter what our level of maturity, mental or physical maturity. So I tend to use these mostly as a highlighter. And what I do really is I just run my brush over the whole thing and then highlight. But you guys know how quickly I go. But and it's just a really pretty look. And like I said, I have these two to choose from. The compacts are pretty. They close up nicely. They feel nice in the hand. You know Dior Backstage. It's just always a really good product. Four more highlighters, actually. There's a lot of good highlighters. I really have enjoyed the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow. This is a really pretty highlighter. It is, to me, very everyday. I mean, it's out there. You can see it from space. Don't worry. But I really like the fact that the color is just a really kind of nice, gentle champagne color. And I think it just kind of goes with whatever you've got on your face. It's just kind of a no think. Charlotte Tilbury made this beautiful, huge highlighter. Some people were like, why would the pan be that big? I do not need that much highlighter. And this is an interesting one because it kind of looks pink, but it doesn't really come off pink, I don't think. Although I have heard from my subscribers who are extremely fair-skinned that it does come off a little bit pink on them. To me, it's another really pretty everyday highlighter. Charlotte Tilbury and highlighter goes hand in hand. Two more highlighters as I go through quickly. Pat McGrath. Now this one is currently, I believe, sold out. Look at the tin that this one comes in. It's so cool and so luxe. This is an interesting highlighter. It's kind of dark. Let me get it real close to the camera. And mine, of course, you can see where I've been using it. It's kind of gouged out there. I think this is gorgeous. This highlighter has like silver in it. You know, we're used to gold in highlighter, but I swear this one can actually kind of go silver. Look at that. Silver and pink. This can appear a bit dark on lighter skins. It's great, just fantastic on deeper skin tones. So beautiful. Can also be like a blush topper if you have fair skin, or even a blush. It is not, you would think with Pat McGrath it would be crazy glitzy. It's not. This highlighter to me is more about an interesting tone than it is about blingy shine. Now you want some blingy shine that's beautiful. This product got no press. I did do a video on it. I have no idea why it never got that much love. And it is the Custom Enhancer Custom Effects palette. Check this guy out. I will link my video below. If you know anything about Cover FX, they do those custom enhancer drops, right? Have you seen those? You could put them into your blush, into your foundation, into your moisturizer even. Here is the powder version of their most popular drops. These can be a blush, they can be a highlighter. I will often take my brush and just go into them. I wish that we had Feel-O-Vision. It is so soft. It almost feels like you've got your finger in a cream. I don't know what the deal is with these. Look at these three colors here. They are so, so, so pretty. They're just, I mean, look at the shine and the tones. Custom Effects does such a good job with this. Cover Effects, I'm sorry, does such a good job with this. And they're just absolutely beautiful. I will link it in my shopping links below because for some reason they're just not available everywhere. And it's a beautiful product and definitely deserves to be on best of lists for 2020. So if you haven't checked this out, do yourself a favor. Please do. Let's talk about bronzers. I only have one bronzer on here. Scott Barnes made a nice bronzer. Huda, I think it was, made a nice bronzer. Was it Huda? My favorite that my go-to is, I know Gucci's great. It had too much of a fragrance for me, so it didn't go on my best of. For me, it was all about the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. Came in this really kind of big clamshell. And you know what's funny? I actually use, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but I actually use the lightest shade. This is the very, very lightest shade, and I'll use it as an all-over powder. It's way too light for me, but I like it as like a setting powder. It's beautiful. I like that it's matte. A lot of folks preferred the non-matte versions of a bronzer. I like it. I like to go ahead and put my highlighter on, my blush, and other things will have some sheen to them. So I really like a bronzer. I love the shades that this one was offered in. This is number 3, and I use that the most. It's a little dark for me, but it's perfect. I'm wearing it today as a bronzer. I'll even run it here and up top here and just kind of give myself across the bridge of the nose a really sun-kissed effect. And I like that it's matte because that works for me, right? With that kind of a look. Two more categories here. I want to talk about some finishing powder. So not setting powder. Setting powder, of course, being when you finish your makeup and you want to set it down, set your eyes, set your makeup so it doesn't feel sticky. But I want to talk about finishing powder. To me, a very important last step in any makeup routine, especially on those days that you have just 30 seconds more time. I have 2 finishing powders. This goes on last. You buff it in with a flat brush. This goes on last, and the 2 that I loved this year, that were released this year, I always love Guerlain, but this year we had the Chantecaille Perfect Blur. This guy had the little hummingbird on it, and this is still available in some places, I believe. This is just a beautiful translucent setting powder. And making its next appearance, Hourglass again with the Ambient lighting edit. Look at how beautiful this is as a finishing powder. It has that combination. It's just a little bit of sheen. I like my setting powder to be matte, just like I like my matte bronzer, but I love a little bit of sheen in a finishing powder so that when you just kind of press it in and just kind of buff it in, just at the end, it just makes all of your makeup blend in so beautifully and just gives that teeny, not a shine, but that just teeny bit of a kind of translucent glow. And it's absolutely beautiful. And these 2 were, for me, the highlight of 2020 finishing powders. Remember, that's different than setting powders. Last but not least, I picked one kind of everything palette, just one, and that award goes to, can you guess? The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Sculpture. This guy has 3 new shades and 3 favorite shades. We've got blushes in there. We've got setting powders. We've got highlighters. And look at those different shades in there that you can bronze with. And, well, I wouldn't bronze with this guy, but you know what I'm saying. Look at that candy cane shade right there in the middle. So beautiful. So easy to take with you wherever. Throw it into your bag, wherever you're going. So pretty, especially as we're wearing so many masks. So you can just make your cheeks just really highlight and your highlighter just really pop. And this was a pretty one just to give, you could grab it every day of the week and have something new to try. Or do what I do, kamikaze style. I just put my brush into it and just kind of go all over. So you can do that as well. So those are my favorite face products and palettes for 2020. Hey guys, what did I leave off? Is there something that you were expecting to see and kind of surprised that you didn't? What can you add to my list? Or maybe you disagree with me on something. Please let me know below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please use those shopping links below if you're interested in any of the products. And as I always say, the greatest compliment you can give to me is to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.